forced to make small jumps to get to the next log, and have to be careful. On my 20th or so log, I completely missed the jump, slamming face first into the side of the log I was aiming for, slowly sliding down it while I feel the bark scratching up my face. I'll tell you now, it did not feel pleasant. And as soon as I had hit the bottom, I found myself standing on that first log in the center of the field. With a sigh, I once more began to walk and hop through the logs, noticing that it was just a bit easier this time. Unlike strength, the build I wanted focused heavily on agility, so I had to stay here quite a while until I was able to reliably do these. As such, it wasn't until 3 hours later when I finished this trial, satisfied with being able to casually leap between logs just over 2 meters apart, and cover some a bit further with difficulty. By this time, however, my face was feeling very sore from all the failures. Final agility evaluated at 12. Really? That's only a 12? I was hoping for at least a 15. I shook my head again at that message before waiting for the scene to shift again. This time, when I arrived at my next trial, I found myself sitting down at a small table in a well-lit room. In front of me was an 8x8 chessboard, though nobody was sitting at the opposite side. "Don't worry, still here," Arya spoke up as the first pawn moved on the other side of the table. "We're just going to do this for a while, until I beat you enough that you're satisfied." There was an obviously mischievous grin in her voice as she said that, and it only made me more determined to win. 2 hours later, and 57 losses, with no wins, I was hanging my head in shame while the AI kept laughing merrily. Just get on with it," I said, knowing I truly would never be able to beat this AI. It was like playing against a dozen different grandmasters, all discussing strategy behind your back. Final wisdom evaluated at 11. Welcome to the trial of magic. I didn't even have the presence of mind to pay attention to this latest window, still reeling from my defeat. By the time I noticed what was going on, I was standing in a wide room, surrounded on all sides by a circle of pedestals. Atop each pedestal was a single book, though there was one also inside the circle with me. Looking at the closest book, I found it to be a book detailing the basics of mana control. You can learn from any 2 of these books, not counting the mana manipulation book before you. After you've acquired the skills, you may spend as long as you like practicing them. I let out a final sigh and opened the book, reading through it. There was a strange sense of energy around me, like static over a television, and it only grew stronger as I got further along in the book. Around halfway done, I was able to identify this new feeling as mana, the key component to any and all magic in the world. The book also taught me how to pull the mana into my body, which I began doing slowly. New skill acquired. Mana manipulation. Beginner level 1. Experience points 0.0%. This skill enables the user to sense the mana around him and draw it into his body. Higher levels will allow for more complex manipulations. Seeing that I had properly learned the first skill, I set it down on its pedestal and walked around to take a look at the books around me. Each one seemed to cover a different field of magic, from nature, ice, fire, water, shadow, even more sci-fi ones like technomancy or stellar magic. Knowing that I could only choose 2 of them, I grabbed the one I thought most helpful to me given my race, nature magic. Opening the book, I was relieved to find that nature magic encompassed both plants and animals, as I was afraid I'd need to hunt through more books to find the latter. Quickly reading through the book, I memorized the basic spell taught within it, Nature's Grasp. Strangely, I did not receive any prompts after finishing the book,